just being there, it's just, like Coach said, it's just love all around the city, man. I love living in Oakland. I lived in Oakland. I stayed in Oakland Hills, and so I was part of the Oakland community. I enjoyed being out there, and then just the whole organization period, just by bringing us all back together and having us here. It's one of the best alumni organizations that's, I feel like, it's across all of sports, whether it's college or NFL, NBA, because I don't know any other teams that put on alumni events
There
the
isn't.
way that the Raiders do.
They're not doing this like this.
Because I live my dream. I got to play for my childhood team. So, that meant a lot to me.
Say one more time for the people in the back.
Whatever happened in the locker room stays in the locker room.
Raider Nation, what's going on? And welcome to another episode of Raiders Talk of the Nation. I am Sibley Scoles, and if you look around me, we got some legends in the building. Obviously, they played together in Oakland for the Oakland Raiders, and we're going to talk to the guys today. And I'm going to allow y'all to do the honors and introduce yourselves to the fans, the silver and black, who are watching right now.
Darren McFadden, class of 2008.
Jacoby Ford, class of 2010.
Lamarr Houston, class 2010.
Donald Penn, class of 06.
Oh, gee,
Did we have to think about those numbers for a second?
I did. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna say the wrong one.
All right, we got around to it, though.
No one pull out your calculators. We don't need to know anybody's age.
Coming up on
today.
that 20-piece now, boy.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I know we are now in Las Vegas, season 4 for me, obviously, going into this. To be able to do this with you guys is cool. I'm from the Bay, born and raised, so this, I've watched you on the field. I was there for the games, and get to build relationships with you guys. So thank you for being out here.
Appreciate you.
And Talk of the Nation, this is the first time we're having y'all together. If you haven't seen the show yet, it's great. The fans, it's all about the fans and giving back to them and representing for the silver and black. So now y'all are part of that. Are we ready?
Ready.
To get down to business, okay? So let's talk about the team, what it was in Oakland, what it meant for you to be there, and again, that fan base and the core of what y'all brought to that field and to Oakland, because it's big. The energy's huge, and the culture of this team is legendary.
I say for me, Arkansas kid, come from Arkansas. I only been to California a handful of times, and that was mostly Southern California. So my first time going to the Bay Area, it was like a big shock to me. I wasn't expecting the cool weather out there or anything, but walking into an organization like the Raiders organization, I knew they had a lot of strong history. Numerous amounts of guys that got gold jackets, and just a great time being able to walk into that organization. And at the time, Al Davis was around, and being drafted by a guy like that, and being able to meet Mr. Davis and sit down and talk to him and pick his brain. He's probably one of the sharpest people I've ever met, and people would think that he was up in age, but no, he was super sharp, and it was just a joy being drafted here and being able to start my career here in Oakland.
For me, I was born in the Bay Area, so it was like coming home for me as an adult, and just being able to do it as a Raider was even better because all my family members are Raider fans, and being able to run out and actually get that black crowd going and get crunk before the game was everything. And the whole persona of the Raiders is what I really enjoyed as a player. It's just like being that badass mother all the time.
Yes.
And I love that about
Lamarr
the Raiders.
here.
He is here. There he is.
And like D-Mac talked about, me now Davis, he was a sharp dude.
Yeah.
He told me specifically why I was drafted. The play in the Red River Shootout versus Oklahoma, I was playing Trent Williams. He was like, you did this, that's why you're here. And I'm like, D-Mac, I was like, man, I didn't know this dude was that sharp. You know who I was playing in college? But just being in Oakland was great. It was great. The fans were, they're diehard, and they made the games a lot more funner, too.
See, mine was a little different. I grew up in L.A., so I grew up a Raider fan, grew up in Inglewood. So, I was cheering for the Raiders my whole life. Marcus Allen, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, Rich Gannon, You know, some of the reasons why I wore 72 was Refrigerator Perry. You know, it was Big Lincoln. You know, so mine was kind of different. You know, played 8 years in Tampa. Then I had opportunity to pick between the Raiders, and I had a couple other teams that wanted me, and I actually took a little less money to come to Oakland. You know, at that time, D-Mac could vouch for me. Nobody really wanted to come to Oakland free agent wise. You know, nobody really wanted. I remember Marcel called me like, bro, we need you. I'm like, don't worry, because in my back of my head, I wanted to go play for my childhood team. Right. You know, that's why our decision was made. And I was playing across the country in Florida for so long, which was great. But I wanted to come back out west, man. And I felt like, you know, I came where nobody wanted to come. And I came because I felt like me being a Raider, I could be myself. Yeah. I could be that badass motherfucker I know I want to be, and I could unleash that and be myself out there on the field. And then when I came, we had that great draft class. I mean, where they brought in DC and Khalil, and we just picked it up after that. And you know, I missed Mr. Davis, but I just know the legacy and what he built from being a fan and growing up. And it was an honor to come here and try to, you know, flip this thing around. I mean, we had our first playoff berth in 2016. So, you know, once I was done with the Raiders, I wanted to play 1 year in Washington. But to be honest, once I was done with the Raiders, I felt like I was good. I was done. I did what I needed to do. You know, I missed the conference. I lived my dream. I got to play for my childhood team. So, you know, that meant a lot to me. And like you say, these Raider fans are crazy. I mean, everywhere I go, I mean, I'm out the country. I'm in Panama, Turks. I'm in Europe. I mean, they're everywhere. They still come up to me, and it's just the love of these fans. It's very special. Even though I played for 3 other organizations, I mean, it's very special.
They know that silver and black.
It's very, very special.
Worldwide.
They do. No, it's just like everybody says. You can really be yourself, and I definitely know that was something that I love. Just like you could be yourself. All your teammates it was like family in there. And the way that Al Davis had it still felt like family. Like whenever he still was able to come around at practice, you know, he'd be out there in the golf cart, white jacket. Yep, definitely you smell him coming. You would. And it's either you gonna stay in the way or you gonna try to avoid him.
Right.
I never avoided him, you know. I just knew what to say, what not to ask him, just because I heard the story one time that somebody asked him a question and, you know, it just didn't end up good for that person. But
mind your own business.
basically. But man, it was amazing playing for the Raiders and being around guys like D-Mac, Lamarr, Marcel, then C. Wood came, Stanford Rout, Jason Campbell, just those guys to be around in that locker room. You know, took a young guy in all the way from the East Coast, never lived on the West Coast at all, and they just made it feel like home. And man, we had it turned up. You know, I really just wish we won certain games that we shouldn't have lost. Yeah. You know, especially that first year, man, because we were going, and just the belief that we brought back to the nation was great. And man, we love the town. Like I love the town. Still to this day, if I get a chance to go back to the Bay, I'm back in the Bay. Yeah. You know, I love it.
It's different.
I heard it is a little different, but it's all good.
But different in a good way. I mean, different in a good way overall. Like, just when you can step off the plane, you're like, yep, I'm here.
No, it's crazy, though, because, you know, I remember my first time playing in Coliseum's preseason. I remember walking down the stairs. I'm like, dang, it smell like Chinese food. I'm like, man, that thing smell good. I remember Khalif looked at me. He was like, man, we don't even sell Chinese food. I said, man, but you know, you're going to get that Chinese food smell every Sunday when you walk down them stairs. It's going to catch you.
I feel like somebody would have it down there.
You know what I'm talking about, that smell. Somebody going to catch you.
With them two, though, him and Leaf at the same time.
Man, come in there and leave, man. Come in there, come and leave.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that dirt was...
I couldn't stand that dirt. That's probably the only time I
on the side of my body.
I used to be rooting for the A's to lose.
Come on.
I feel so bad. What? So we get off that dirt quick.
So you get off the dirt.
Hey, y'all don't make these playoffs, man, so we get off the dirt quick.
Well, that's something special that no one can really say, right? That they've...
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, keep that.
Special.
Yeah, it was special, all right. There was
special. You want to run a route on that dirt. Run a route past the dirt.
When you got to that dirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I definitely... I'm definitely not cutting.
Because you don't want to, you got to get through that, right? So there's no injury, no nothing.
Oh, yeah, D-Mac, don't cut back, because I'm not cutting on the backside.
It's good at first. It's good for the first little quarter. After that,
it's
once it dries up, yeah, it's done. It doesn't come back.
You all have mentioned just now too, you Jacoby saying Oakland. Obviously, that holds such a special place, right? And like you said, you've played in other cities. Nothing compares to what you did, where to the point that you said, I'm done with my career right now here. I want to end it here because I did everything I was supposed to. What is so special about Oakland and that mentality that you all had when you put those jerseys on and got ready to go?
The black hole, man. I'm fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the camaraderie I really think I felt like we just really had with the fans. And I mean, I could just speak from my experience. I know I would always be out with, locals in Oakland. Like I would be in Hayward, I'd be, sometimes I go to San Jose. I'd be right there in Oakland, like right in 98th Street, like right there, like just hanging out. And they'd be like, where y'all at? I'm like, I'm just hanging out with some of my friends out, Oakland locals. And they're like, you good though? I'm like, yeah, like I'm straight, like I'm good. And it just honestly, like it still feels like home. Yeah. Like, and I'm still in contact with a lot of people that, I did not play with. Like I brought people around, my closest peoples that, I gotta go play, I gotta go play with on Sundays, but just cause I did trust them. And it was never issues ever. It just always felt like just genuine love, and it just always just felt like, I hurt for Oakland whenever whenever the Raiders did leave, and still do. And then even Golden State had to leave them as well, and now the A's are leaving. So it's like that I hurt for the town for that.
I tell people when the Raiders left Oakland, I was happy for the fact that they were getting a new facility and everything.
Love that.
But I hated that they had to leave the city of Oakland to, for that to happen, because I know how much the Raiders organization means to the city of Oakland. Just being there, it's just, like Kobe said, it's just love all around the city, man. I love living in Oakland. I lived in Oakland. I stayed in Oakland Hills, and so I was part of the Oakland community. I enjoyed being out there, and then just the whole organization period, just by bringing us all back together and having us here. It's one of the best alumni organizations that's, I feel like, it's across all of sports, whether it's college or NFL, NBA, because I don't know any other teams that put on alumni events the way that the Raiders do, and keep in contact and invite their former players back.
And you all show up. That's the thing ting too. It's not just one-sided.
You see guys from the
we like to put eyes on each other.
Check each other's
They were saying earlier, Oakland wasn't a whole lot for the fans to cheer for. So the fact that they was coming out there every Sunday, every Monday, packing it out, still cheering, and cheering us on, just even if we knew we was about to play the Patriots,
So, hey, the bad thing about the bad and good thing about being a Raider was, we kind of accepted the underdog.
Yeah.
We kind of accepted that. Like, it was kind of our little persona, we kind of accepted that. Like even in 2016 when we were rolling, so we were still accepting that underdog, going into other people's stadiums. When I think we had a better record that year away than we did at home. I think that year in 2016 we were going out there smashing. But man, I loved Oakland. When I got to Oakland from Tampa, I felt like it was just an extension of LA. I mean, I felt like the vibes, just the games on Sundays, when you pull up, you see everybody in there tailgating. It's going to get you ready to go. Like, they ready.
Y'all
you know
ever
what I'm saying?
experienced a tailgate?
Nah.
Oh, what?
But you see
You
them.
you were in the thick of it. It's the best,
You
right?
see the fans ready, it's going to get you ready.
I went into a van. I came out that van. Man, listen, I was not okay, but I was good. But man, I just seen how hard. I was like, yo, they go hard. Like, just the love. Like, I'm walking around, they saying what's up. I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, I gotta go make it in there. I'm like, I'm all right now. I'm cool. Like, I'm good. Had a couple drinks. I'm like, I'm straight.
It's like family.
It is.
It's family. Yeah. You can say that for all the fans that come out, the true silver and black, the black hole. Like, they are through and through gonna be there. It's gonna feel like
I still gotta
family.
catch myself. Like, even when I do a little media stuff, I still gotta catch myself because I still say Oakland all the time. I still gotta catch myself. Vegas, like Vegas, because it's so used to. I mean, even when they played in LA, to me, it's still Oakland.
Yeah.
We had a little time in LA, which I love, because I used to go to the game, but to me, it's still always been Oakland. And it's still like, I don't know how y'all feel, it's always gonna be Oakland to me.
Yeah.
Deep down, it's always gonna be Oakland.
We in Vegas, and I love it.
They upgraded. It's upgraded now.
We in Vegas. I love it. I hope they bring a championship.
I still feel like it's always gonna be Oakland.
Like you said, it's always gonna be Oakland.
We just hide when we say it.
We just hide it now, though.
We hide it when we say it.
Amongst us, we know.
It seems like, again, the brotherhood that you had on and off the field was just being built every time, every season. I know some of you didn't get to play at the same times together, but what did you miss?
Crazy thing is, I didn't play with D-Pen.
That's what I was gonna say.
I
You
trained with D-Pen though.
Okay, so
played
you
against
did
him
train together.
When I played in Tampa, he played for Oakland.
Yeah.
I played against him.
Gotcha. So it was the 1 year off, right?
The bull rush machine right here. All on the dirt.
Do y'all have any stories that you want to share from the locker room, the huddles? Like, who was the funniest out there on the field? Who was?
D-Mac and Khalif Barnes.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I got there. I mean, I felt like it was just D-Mac, Khalif. It was just constant jokes. It was hard to stay serious because like it was just constant. Like we would just look at each other and start laughing. It wouldn't be nothing like we just look at each other and start laughing. But one thing I accepted when the guys, like when I first got to Oakland, like we did a couple little things. We might go to eat, we might go to Hooters, we might meet here, we might go meet up here. We were trying to build a little stuff. We used to always hit the Applebee's up in in Alameda. Though. We used to do little things.
I love that Applebee's.
Yeah, we used to do little things when I first got there to try to build the team up and get everybody together. And I appreciate that when I first got there because I was able to meet a lot of guys and get to know those guys better. But I mean the jokes, I think the jokes just, you used to have some thick skin.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to, right?
Nah, because it's like if you laugh at it, you could be a
can't even
bystander.
laugh,
If Khalif, if somebody cracks on Khalif and you laugh, Khalif gonna shoot everybody for laughing. Like you just get shot up for laughing. Like,
Oh, you laughing, bro?
It's funny?
Innocent bystander.
Oh, it's funny?
yeah.
You gotta hear him get
And
it
he gonna hit you where it
I
hurts.
feel like Unc was pretty funny too, man.
Yeah.
I feel like he was funny too. More in the locker room, I thought he was funny
But
as
say it
opposed
was
to
like
being
it
on the
was that
field.
dry humor. You don't even
Yeah,
expect
yeah,
dry
You
humor.
wouldn't expect Unc to throw. You'd be like, man, Unc, you're killing me on that. Unc had some good.
We used to have them domino tables going too, though.
Yeah. Every lunch, they always in there playing dominoes. And I mean the black hole too. Like the black hole was it was everything. I remember I caught my touchdown. I jumped in there, and that was a dream come true. I'm like, man, I jumped in there.
You jumped the first
I
time
had
you
to
jumped
use
in.
the. I don't want.
Yes.
Let me say it before
Yeah,
D-Mac get on me. I had to
clown
use the little bench to get up there. 'Cause I know D-Mac going to look. As soon as I said jump, D-Mac said jump. Look, as soon as I said jump, D-Mac was like jump. So let me clarify before he.
So you
before he
jumped in
shoot.
there and you used something.
I just used a little hand
The
though, just
hand
give me a
right
little boost
Just a
up.
little boost.
And why were
You
you
know what I'm
messing with him? What did you say?
Because I
I
said
know,
jump,
he
he was like, you
You know you didn't jump like
know
that.
you
It's a
didn't
nice
jump.
little jump.
get
but
stuck.
whoa,
Hey, you
I had
gotta
to
get
use
up
that
there
little.
now.
You gotta get up
I had
there.
beer getting spilled on me. They was trying to take the ball from me. Nah, that was
And you
trying to
will
hit you
never.
up, boy.
You're not gonna get an
got a
experience
whole
like
beer
that unless you
spilled on
played
me.
in
After that
Oakland.
Cleveland return.
exactly, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and to jump in that black hole. I mean, I felt like I was excited as heck because I caught a touchdown. But I felt like the fans were more excited than me. Like,
They feel like they got the
Exactly.
touchdown. Yeah. Well, I'm doing something with you guys. We're gonna do this, okay? Let's try it out. D-Pen, I'm starting with you.
all right.
A story, a memory. Doesn't have to be with these guys here, but anything
Oh, I
from
got
playing
one.
in Oakland. But you can't use names because we're not trying to incriminate anybody.
Okay, I got one.
So if you could tell a story, yeah, go ahead. You're ready.
Joint practice against the Cowboys. We got in that big old brawl, and it kind of shifted over towards to the fans, and our Raider fans was in there getting in with us, man. I mean, that was an experience.
That sounds
I mean, we went to Cowboys practice, and when I tell you, we took over. I mean, it was Raider fans everywhere.
It was so loud.
I mean,
out
it was
there,
just anything we did was just. I mean, we just went in there and took it all, and then like Cowboys were trying to be tough and stuff, and then, I mean, we had that Raider mentality, and I mean, wherever I played, we don't start no stuff, won't be no stuff.
Right.
Right.
And I was always taught, man, don't start nothing, but one thing we're gonna do, we're gonna finish it.
Right.
And we finished it there.
Yeah.
And the
got
fans helped too. And I mean, that was a great experience seeing all the guys together. I mean, I felt like we bonded that year, just from that practice. Just from that practice, like we went back with a new feeling, new set as a team. Like, okay, we gonna ride because we know everybody gonna ride with us.
got each other
Because one
back,
person went,
yeah.
everybody was in there. It wasn't even. I mean, even from the white boys, they was in there scrapping too.
No
You know what I'm
question
saying?
about
No,
it.
I'm serious. Like everybody was up in there. You know what I'm saying? So. That goes a long way when you get into the trenches and you go to war. You're like, okay, these dudes gonna ride for me, so
Right.
let me ride for them.
There's no way we can do an episode without talking about the man, Al Davis. Those who were lucky enough, fortunate enough to have that relationship with him, to be on the field and get his mentorship, and to be picked up by him. What was that like for you guys to have those moments with him? And what type of human being would you say he was?
A genuine human being that loved his players and he loved his organization. He had a TV right there as soon as you walk in his office that he would still watch all the film. Still watch all the film, all the games. Knew everybody that he drafted personally. Anybody in that building, like he knew. And just I know me and Lamarr have. I know we had the rookie symposium, and
Willie B.
with the late Willie B. And Willie had us down there doing one-on-ones for one while we're at the rookie symposium. The only group doing one-on-ones. Everybody's over there golfing, doing fun stuff. Willie got us up here in cleats, legit working out, doing one-on-ones against each other, releases. And then it comes time for us to go home. And me and Lamarr get called. They say, yeah, you guys aren't going home. Y'all going back to Oakland. We're like, why? What happened? They're like, oh, Al wants to see you. We're like, okay. So I'm like, what does he want to see us for? Like, and we didn't have to see him till the next day. So we flew back, and then we had to see him the next day. So the next day we see him, and I go in there. I don't know what he said to Lamarr.
Yeah, it was like he's at the principal's office, bro.
Seriously, seriously. Bro, walked in there, and this was actually, I think this probably was my first time actually meeting him, like actually sitting out meeting him. And he was standing up, super excited. I was super nervous, happy to meet him, and he just basically just wanted to tell me, happy that he drafted me, and that they were going to get my deal done, and why he drafted me. He's like, you just remind me of 21 Cliff Branch, so just want to let you know, expect big things for you, and I love you. Never forget that, Lily Sober, I love you. And just something I'll never forget, and just appreciate him giving me a start, giving me chance in the NFL, and that's definitely something I'll never forget. But I definitely was still a little mad because I wanted to go home. I was homesick. I was really ready to go home, but man, it was an experience I think I'll never forget. I'll never forget.
Well, I got one for you while I was mad. Now, like Kobe say, Mr. Davis, he was great, just sharp all around. So I was drafted in 2008, same thing. So I got drafted, thought I was gonna be able to stay in New York, hang out, have fun. Like, nah, come on, we finna go to Oakland. So it was my parents, my dad, my stepmom, my mom, Willie Brown. I think maybe somebody else from the organization was with us, but we flew back from, so we flew from New York to Oakland that night. I don't know.
You gonna remember?
We was on JetBlue. We was on JetBlue. Yeah, I wasn't know it was straight JetBlue. About 18 people on the plane, so I had a whole row. I'm stretched out.
He bought the whole plane.
He bought the whole plane.
So we come back that evening. So we get here probably like 10 o'clock, and we went in the hotel, went to meet Mr. Davis the next morning. So I was up early, but like you say, you walk in the office, man, you got like playbooks open, like been taking notes, film up here on the projector. I'm like, dang. So we just chopping it up and he talking, and he was telling me about some plays that I did from like my freshman year of college. And so I'm like, it might have been a highlight or something. And then when he started telling you about stuff, I'm like, that's a play that people don't really pay attention to, you know what I'm saying? It was just picking up a block, or you might have dropped your shoulder and picked up a first down or something. Like, it's not a big home run play. A lot of people don't see it. And so when he bring it up, it's 3rd down and 2, you playing against LSU, and I'm like, he's real sharp, and like Coach, he loved his players. He'll go to bat for his players, and that's one thing I really liked about him. And but like I say, it's a blessing to be able to be drafted into this organization and be a part of this family. It's not just an organization; it's a family, and there's something that I appreciate about the Raider Nation.
That machine.
He's be on it.
He's be on that machine, but he's been at workout.
What machine was he on?
Like
the little,
what they call it,
cardio.
cardio.
Was it his office?
No, he was down. He
was
would
in
come down
the
the
training
window.
room.
Oh, he go to the trains?
Yeah,
Okay.
Chris. Yeah, remember Chris would train him.
I love it.
He would be in there, he'd be getting it in. Nobody in it, just him.
How old was he at this time when you guys were?
I think it's like
80s.
he's probably 80.
I think he was like 78 or 79 when I came in 08.
He was like,
Yeah, so
80.
he's probably, I think he was 81, I think.
Yeah.
He was in his 80s.
He had no excuses. He's like, let's go.
was
If you're
gone.
doing, I'm doing
No,
it.
he was gone.
Yeah,
At that age, too.
yeah,
gone.
right?
Like
Iced
Jacoby
out.
said, sitting in his
Joe
room,
had the rings
Iced
on,
out.
had the rings
talking
on.
to him
Always had
one-on-one,
the
like,
championship
you
ring.
never
Cold
got
jacket.
that feeling that, you know, it wasn't the Al Davis people talked about. You know, like people were saying he's different, this and that. When you talk to him, he's like, man, this is a sharp football mind dude. Like, this isn't just the owner. Like, he knows football. And he's probably one of the very few owners who knows football and has really changed the game of football ever since he's been involved with it. You know, picking up players who were supposed to be old veterans who were done, you know, winning the Super Bowl that way. Hiring the first Hispanic coach, hiring the first black coach. Like, everything has been groundbreaking that he's done. And when you sit and talk to him, you get that sense of the football side of Al Davis. Like, man, this dude's more like a coach than he is an owner. Because he knows stuff like 4 eyes, like nobody knows what that is. Nobody knows what that is but football people. And when he talks to you that way, you're like, man, it kind of changes your perspective on who he is, you know? And you kind of like, you kind of lean in on that, like, yeah, I like this guy. Forget what people are saying. Forget what people are saying. I like this guy. I like his football mentality. I like the way he talks about his Raiders players. You know, for me, I play D-line, so.
You better not come
Like,
line up in there.
Yeah.
I'm telling them, get
they're
that reach
saying
on you.
It's
We
coming
out.
from, you know, the Lala Zetos and the nasty guys. So his whole thing was about just mentality and how you play and how you approach the game when I talked to him. And just really, he really is the one who helped ignite that dog in me because he was like, look, I need you to be in here. I need you to be nasty. And I'm like, hey, I'm all for it. So, you know, I had a couple scuffles in practice. I'll tell you one thing I won't do, try and pick up Langston Walker again.
Boy,
Hold back out.
Hold back out, man. But nah,
big human being, though.
meeting him was an honor, and just hearing his side of football really helps you.
No, I know it was different, right?
No,
For
see,
you
I
with-
wish I would have got to
Yeah.
meet Mr. Davis. I didn't, but you know, I could reflect on you know, Mark. You know, Mark's doing a great job trying to fulfill his dad's dream and trying to, you know, keep that legacy going. I think Mark's doing a wonderful job. I mean, I felt like, you know, Oakland might be mad at Mr. Davis for bringing him out here, but it had to be done. Our facilities in Oakland, us as all the players could contest to how bad they were, how horrible they were. You guys missed the new weight room, but thank God we had a new
Yeah, I
weight
wish
room
I
last
had a
2
new
years.
weight
So,
room.
but the stuff needed to be done, and
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people were worried about this change, this transition. I feel like Mr. Davis done a great job. It's been very smooth. He still keeps the Bay and his dad influence in everything he does, and you know, I feel like Mr. Davis' drive is to make his dad proud, and I think he's doing a good job of it.
like, I didn't want to be in that like I used to run up out that facility when I was able to be done.
I wouldn't eat no
done.
food. I eat breakfast there, but dinner I'm gonna get my own stuff, man. I'm not,
I can't lie to
They
you.
bring
Oh,
stuff.
excuse
How
me.
many times can you
kitchen,
eat
yeah.
this?
That
You know,
Mexican-
unless they brought that barbecue.
When we get the little Mexican. That's
Hey,
I
they
love
brought
them.
that Kinders.
Khalif-
They
Khalif
brought that
love them.
Kinders.
Khalif.
No, with the B used to kill me when they came in there, boy.
Oh, Kinders though.
We smell that Kinders. It'd be on.
That's what he was winning.
Oh, boy.
Those memories are so great, right? They're so rich and so deep. And the fact that you were able to be amongst that man and, you know, be drafted by him and have that's awesome because, again, you don't see that. You don't see that in the league or many leagues, right? Where
And
you
just to have
owners.
like, just been knowing each other for 10 plus years now.
Right.
Like it's like these brothers to me now. You know what I'm
I look
saying?
forward to
It's
seeing them. Like when they called and told me I was gonna see them,
like,
I was
you
like,
know who
okay,
coming,
cool. I'm
like,
seeing my
okay,
guys.
yeah.
Like,
Like, I ain't even touched him.
I'm coaching high school football. I know he's probably mad, but I'm gonna miss the alumni party Friday because it's a high school game.
I
So
gotta-
I'm like
I might
mad
have
because
to
I
miss
want
it
to
too.
come see all the guys. Like I enjoy that. I'm mad I won't miss it because I got to go to my high school game. But I enjoy coming back and seeing
you
these
don't miss a beat.
guys. And you know, ain't no team that does it like this. I'm telling you, it's not another team that does stuff like this.
I definitely know. I would definitely be proud. He definitely he love how much they take care of us because it means a lot.
I tell you, we want to.
I'd be looking forward.
We
to
win the Super Bowl, I might make an appearance. I'm telling you.
better.
I might come make a.
Yeah,
he
better.
might come.
I'm here, wherever they at.
You feel what I'm saying? But they on their way, and I think Mr. Davis and Organization's doing a good job. His dad's looking down, proud of him.
Absolutely. I was watching this clips of it and just trying to get the emotion and the feels. The Houston Texans game. That was emotional. That was a win, but that was leading up to losing him. What was that like?
We knew something was different just because of the flight leaving. Because I think that might have been the flight where we couldn't take off right away. Everything was just everything was just different. Everything was delayed, so everything was just like pushed back. So we knew something was off. And then even when we landed, they were like, "Yeah, y'all, we probably had a meeting right away."
And everything.
And we kind of knew when we seen Hugh walk in how he walked in. So we kind of already had a feeling it was.
It was like it wasn't official for us, but I think like we knew something wasn't right, and
because he was always with us every flight.
Right.
He was always with us every flight.
That's true.
Like had to wait on that San Diego.
There was a man in that locker room who wasn't going to play to win that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To go out there.
What was that for you in the locker room? That
I mean,
moment?
it was just like ain't no way we finna lose.
It was like it was no way. Yeah, it was like
We were so locked. Everybody was just like in their own zone.
Laser focus.
Wasn't too much talking. Everybody just knew like
It was quiet.
Like he said, I'm probably one of the biggest jokesters it is when it comes to being in the locker room. But you know, it's a time. It's a time and place for everything. And you know, it just for me being able to meet Mr. Davis and go sit down and talk with him and him tell me about me from being 17, 18 years old, you know, it just meant a lot to me, you know, to lose him because he changed my whole life. And so, you know what I'm saying, that was like, it meant a lot to me, you know, but it was, you know, it was at that day and at that time, our team mindset was no way we were going to lose that football game. And, you know, we were able to go out there and prevail. So it worked out.
Huff.
It worked out good.
Huff caught that pick, yeah.
I caught that pick.
You did it for Al.
Yeah.
That's when the emotions came out after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we just let it out.
When you lose someone like that who was so instrumental in getting you your start and, you know, and also really seeing you, not just drafting you. He knew you as a kid watching, you know, and put that much time and effort into something. Where does that put you mentally?
Like say for me, it was just it was like I don't even know how to explain the words. It's like losing a grandfather or something. Cause like I say that for the way that Mr. Davis changed my life, and not like, oh, come on, you play for me. You just no. It was like I was a part of his family, and it wasn't just like I was a player. It was like he embraced me, and you know, just being around a guy like that, and you know, when he talked to you, you know, he's gonna talk to you from the heart. It's not just he blowing smoke. And so if he critiquing you about something, you take it how you want to, but he's telling you what's real and everything. You know, he's gonna be a straight shooter with you.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that was gonna have an owner that you can actually interact like that with. I don't think anybody. Probably Jerry Jones might be probably the closest thing I think to it, if I'll be honest. Yeah. But just it was sad. You know, it was sad. Makes you be more even, you know, more appreciative of being drafted by him, because then you really kind of see all the history that, you know, was like, you know, that was there. And it just makes you just be like just more appreciative that, you know, you were part of like that last draft class. But I kind of always knew, as soon as I ran my 40, they were like, yeah, you going to Oakland. They're like, yeah, you going to Oakland. I'm like, and it's crazy because I go back and I watch, if I see like my NFL Combine tape, I never talked to Oakland, nothing, never had nothing. And Sanjay's the first one right there watching me on the gauntlet drill. And I'm like, Sanjay, you knew what you was doing the whole time. And Sanjay's like, yeah, we were watching you. We said if you got to about this round, that we were gonna probably snatch
They
you up.
really
So
kept quiet because like I
That's
didn't
what they
really
do.
talk to nobody from Oakland.
No.
I came on a visit out here, but the visit was just like, I think I went on like 3 or 4 visits, but it was just like normal visit.
Business as
nothing and
usual, yeah, just going by,
everything.
yeah.
Then that morning, Kiff had called me, like, you still there? We gonna pick you up? I'm like, bad, you know what I'm saying? It was everything for me right there.
So that was one of the last few teams that hit me in free agency. They was the last team that hit me in free agency. I was getting ready to make my decision then. I was in Washington and Oakland hit me. And it was like, we flying you to Oakland from Washington. I'm like, All right.
You
let's
don't know
go.
how bad when I had her. Like, what? I gotta bring them on.
Bring them on.
I flew straight. I was visiting Washington. I flew straight from Washington to Oakland. I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't take a visit there either. I just did Minnesota and Washington.
Crazy. It's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, man.
He
It was
knew.
one of the last
He
ones.
knew.
He knew. He knew.
Worked behind that shield. He already knew.
Yes.
New England and New York. I just knew I was gonna end up
Well,
on
I
the
thought I was
East
going to
Coast
Miami.
somewhere.
I had a workout, me and AB. I had like workouts ready. I said, I'm going to Miami. I was ready. I said, keep me at the crib. But it
And
was all right.
then-
Tom Cable called. I was still happy.
Okay,
Actually, everybody was happy. Everybody
Yeah.
was happy.
Thank you guys for sharing those stories.
Appreciate
Always
you.
rest in peace
Yes.
to Mr. Al Davis, and the legacy continues, like you said, with Mark. So the time has come, the highlight reel. I need to know the highlights, whether it was a play, something, a huge fan interaction, anything that you guys have that really stood out to you that was thrilling.
I want to say Kobe whole Kansas City game. I
Yeah.
think it's 2010 when it was wet out there.
Yeah, it's
When it
raining.
2010, yeah, man.
was
Kobe
that two-
went
It started the
stupid
second
out
half.
there.
I read
Yeah.
that's crazy because that's what story I was going to tell because that my first
Kobe went
touchdown was the
stupid out
kickoff
there,
return.
yeah.
But you had like 3 overall touchdowns.
I had,
Catching
I just was going
third
crazy.
and sevens
I'm
over
about to say,
people's
you had
head
a-
like
you had a
this.
catch.
I just I had a lot. I had like 100, but yeah, I had a lot of yards. I had like 140 something receiving and like 150 something return.
I'm about to say, he went
What'd you
crazy
eat
out
before
there.
that game?
Spaghetti
Yeah,
and
his
meatballs.
Wheaties. The same thing.
Same thing every time.
Was that your go-to?
That was that was my go-to. And gummy bears right before the game.
Gummy
I
bears.
gotta have some kind of
Sugar?
like sweet. Yep.
That's
Gotta
what
have
did
like
it,
some
huh?
kind of sweet. Yeah, I had to have some kind of sweets. Some kind of sweets. But yeah, that game was wild though. But yeah, that first touchdown when I jumped in the stands, I had somebody actually message me like a couple years before, and they messaged me the picture. They say, "Hey, just want to tell you like thank you for this picture, this moment." They like, you didn't know, but my dad was terminally ill at the time. But like he just passed away, but just they were like, "Yeah, I just want to thank you for that moment." So the touchdown was great, but I didn't realize it was bigger
How
than
far
even
it goes,
how far I go in
yeah.
that picture. So
That's something also that I'm sure you guys experience too in the league is those special moments you don't realize until you meet those fans how much it's not just a game to them.
no.
There's memories that they'll carry with them forever.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Rest of their
They
family.
live with us too.
Yeah. Any other thrilling
that,
moments? I know
D-Mac.
you had them. I mean, you were
No.
cracking up all the time in the locker room, you said. So
Nah,
there's got to be
so,
some thrilling
then we
moments.
got Lamarr out here. What we I forget who we were playing
Cincy.
when they got the sack back here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wait,
They fool back here celebrating 20 yards behind the
Yeah.
ball. And they
Still-
hurry
they
up.
gonna
They trying to
hurry
get
up.
on the ball. They back here still celebrating. Like,
The old D
bro,
line.
come on, man. Get them.
yeah. We did get crunked by them sacks though.
The early
We love them
celebrations.
sacks.
Just Tuck, they had that too with Tuck. You remember when Tuck was getting mad? Were you there when Tuck came?
Now, see, I played that first year with Tuck.
But you remember when they had the interception? They down there fumble. They down there
Oh,
celebrating, and everybody down there about to
He
run the
going
play,
off.
and Tuck on the sideline going off like.
No
but,
discipline.
but now one of my memories. I mean, I got to say, man, 2016 when we clinched the playoffs in San Diego against the Chargers after not being in the playoffs so long and
That's a home
us
game
having
for
that
us.
run. Yeah, that's a home
Wasn't
game
that
for us
crazy?
too. So
That's a
it
home
was a
game.
home game for us. You know, it's crazy. They going silent, but when we won that game and clinched, and you know, we spent about 10, 15 minutes on the field with the fans before we even went to the locker room, and then those locker room vibes and that plane ride home. It was just everything. I mean, I think that was one of the few times where when we got back, we had fans waiting
At the
outside the
stadium.
facility when we got back from that game because we finally clinched the playoffs. I think, yeah, I do remember driving out, honking the horn, and having fans out there for that one. I mean, that was a crazy little
I'm glad you
experience,
got to
man.
experience that, bro. That's lit.
My favorite thrilling moments when I found out my son was about to be born. And so I kind of had like a game like Jacoby had. We played the Jaguars. I had like a sack, a couple tackles for a loss, but then I made like the last game-winning play where I had a forced fumble on like a little slant. And I just went nuts. Just started running down the side of the field. I think I ran in a DA and DA just kept running too.
It's cool when you have personal experiences that you can take onto your job, onto the field out there. So knowing that your son was about to be here
I
to
just
the
found out I was
world.
a boy too, so I was stupid crying.
But honestly, though, this dude right here in 2010 was going bananas, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even finna lie to you.
It
Like,
was a fun year.
D-Mac was going crazy, him and Bush. But that Denver game was probably
Denver, oh,
one of the
yeah.
craziest
I'd say
games
that's
I've
probably
ever
one of
seen.
my
I was like,
favorite
I said,
games
but
right
he looked
there.
like Arkansas right here, with, running that the Wildcat. That's crazy. This is the
Doing
Wildcat,
that
man.
in Denver too, boy.
In
That
Denver.
was
In the
that was
elevation.
off the chain. Out the
I
chain
think that's
right
the
there.
highest scoring game we've ever had.
I think
So
I
was
know
that
when
one?
we were.
NC
I think they
basketball?
I think they might have beat it like
Yeah, they might- I think-
last year, or the year
I think
before, or
something like
something. I
that.
remember they had scored.
I got some stories about Seabass, but I can't tell them.
You ain't the only one. He gonna start
Seabass
talking.
one of the coolest guys ever, though, man. He's one
Yeah.
of the
He
coolest,
is.
down to
Seabass
earth
cool as
guys
hell.
ever, man.
I love Seabass.
He was
man.
And I'm so mad. I was just in Jacksonville. I didn't
We
reach
hung out
to
with
him.
we hung out with them. Like we hung out with Seabass
Yeah?
and Shane. Yeah, we
Yeah.
Condo.
Condo, yeah.
So I gotta bring it down because this is for a second, okay? 2014. 0-10 to start the 2014
That
season.
was my first year there, right?
Okay.
That was my first year there.
When you got that first win with the Chiefs, that celebration was massive. It was huge. It had to have felt different because it was like a whoo moment.
It was like that whole vibe that day was different. It was a Thursday night game. Was it a Thursday night game?
0-10.
Was it a Thursday night game, Matt?
It was
I think
Thursday
it was
night
Thursday night
game.
game. It was-
0-10.
The whole vibe just felt different. I feel like everybody was just fed up.
It was just like,
Everybody just fed up. I'm over here like, man, they looking at me like they made a bad decision. We bring it in. We ain't won yet. We was all fed up. Like we was
That's
just
when they
like,
ended up. He pulled everybody. That's when Tay ended up going in, and Tay had went off. Tay went
Tay
out
went
there.
off.
Tay went out there and went stupid against the Chiefs because I think he had broke one for like 60 or 70 on him. Then
we knew we had to run the ball on them. That was the whole game plan. Keep Alex off the field. Keep the offense off the field. And we had to run the ball on them. And we
Man, 0-10.
But they had some crazy defenses. Though.
we went towards the end. We went to the end though, but that was. And you know what? I mean, as football players, you know what was better about that too? Cause we had the weekend off after that too. So it's like you didn't want to go the whole weekend going 0-11.
Yeah, no.
Going 0-11.
That
Like we
win
went
felt
in there,
great.
we went there one, and we had the weekend off. So that
felt
made it even
good,
better because
boy.
it was like, fool, that season was tough too. Cause there was so many games where we were so
right
close.
there in the mix, right in
Like
the
we
mix.
were so close and we should have won.
Couldn't get over that little hump.
We almost beat New England, Tom Brady. You remember before we went to
Yeah,
London,
like
we almost beat that game.
Where do you have to pull from in order to know, like, to make sure you get a win like that? Because
When it
When you-
get down to that point in the season,
He had to sit up.
hold on, let me explain.
like, when it get down to that point in the season, you got to really look yourself in the mirror and be like, at the end of the day, I'm a man, so I got to go out here and do what I got to do. Because the team vibe at that point, you know, you got people just ready to get home, and so at that point, you like, I got to go. You don't want to put no bullshit on film at the end of the day.
Right.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to go out here and do what I got to do regardless. And
I get my hats off. Rest in peace, Tony Sperano. He did a great job of keeping
Coach
us
Sperano,
focused.
yeah, he did,
And keeping
he
us
did.
going and not letting
no,
us
so
get to,
he
like
did.
he said,
Yeah.
to get to the point where we already talking about off season, already doing. I thought he did a great job of motivating us, keeping us going, and keeping us positive during that season when everything else was going bad. I think that was one of the big things. I think he had a great speech before that game
he
too.
did, yeah.
Like spilled out his heart. And one thing about Tony too, rest in peace too, Tony. We knew Tony really cared about us, and we tried our hardest
doubt, yeah.
to try to turn that around for him and win some games for him because you know we knew Tony like really loved us and cared. You know, certain coaches you could tell if it's really genuine
different.
or if it's not.
Put
You
that
know
on
what
the
I'm saying?
line for him, yeah.
It seems like the more you talk about it too, the support that you guys had during the times that you played from like the Al Davis, and you talk about this coach, the Soprano, right?
Yep.
The black hole also, when you think about it, right? Did they push you a lot
Oh,
too?
it was lit that Thursday game too.
But that's what I'm saying.
Now,
They
0-10.
also-
I'm talking, we 0-10. I think that Thursday night game was sold out. It was getting so bad to where D-Mac, we bagging on ourselves. We like, dog. We like, dog, we can't get this right, man.
You can't get right,
We
but,
was on
but you did.
ourselves, but nah, you know
But to
that,
have them though, you know what I mean? To have the black hole again, that knowing, especially when you're at the home game, You can see it. You know where they're at. They're ready for you guys. To have that support system, what did that do for the games?
It's big because they always rocking.
Yes.
I mean, that Thursday
always
night
there.
too. You know,
No
Thursday
matter
night
what.
game.
No matter what.
It's
No
a
matter
little,
what.
it's a little
Always
special
there.
or two. They always rocking, no matter what. Like you said, no matter what, they was gonna be in there rocking. So
You can tell you're making a big play because they were
Right.
like, oh, like, yeah, that's a good play.
And that just it's for us as players. When you hearing that and you feed out there, man, you want to go out there that much harder and try to get them a win. You know what I'm saying, for the fans
Exactly.
and everything. Just because they coming out there, they go work all week and then go spend their money, come watch you. You want to try to
You
go
wanna
put on the show for them
You wanna
and
perform for
everything.
'em.
So
And I had to always go through the Black Hole so I can go get my gummy bears. she used to
Who
start
had the
bringing
gummy
me.
bears for you?
Oh man, I forgot her name, but she's a sweet lady. She always brought them almost every game. Every game. She's gonna probably kill me too. She'll write. She's gonna write. She's like, "You forgot my name." I'm like,
She's gonna say, "Sweet lady." That's what you call me, sweet lady.
my gummy bear lady. You know who
My
you
God,
are.
that lady.
She knows who she is.
Yeah,
So I
no,
used to
it's
always look
cool.
forward to that.
And just before we get into the next topic, I have to say too, I was one of those fans like where it was a home game in the Chargers. We used to park 5 miles away from the stadium because we were kids going and I couldn't afford. my parents were like, "You want to go? You drive the cousins and your sister out there." We'd have war paint on, and be at those. Like I remember just coming down. You know it wasn't a walkway. It was a walkway. It wasn't
spiral.
stairs. The spiral spot, and all you heard was just like banging on the
Going.
stomping, just going down.
I used to just love to see them walking over the bridge, bro. That was
That
probably one of
too,
my
yeah.
favorite things. I'm like, look at everybody just walking over the
Right,
bridge,
yeah.
coming to the game.
It was the best.
Ready.
I remember when I was first played Oakland, I was like, they going on silent count at home. I was like, wow. I was like shocked. I said they
like,
going
we
on
design like,
silent.
they wouldn't go straight silent. Just
Yeah,
to
like
Yeah.
not even have to worry about.
crazy.
It was great. Celebration, 65 years of the Raiders. To know the legacy, to know that you have all been a part of that for some time, and to see that you're still here now as an alumni, celebrating the team through the moves, through the ups and downs, everything that we've seen, and the losses and the wins. What's it mean to you to see it have this 65-year celebration and to have been a part of that?
I mean, I wish I could play my whole career at the Raiders, to be honest, if I had my choice. I mean, I love my 8 years in Tampa. It was a blessing. I learned a lot, met a lot of great friends. But growing up a Raider fan, man, the style I played and the way I played and the mentality I played and the way I carried myself on that field, and if you was one of my teammates, somebody messing with you, they messing with me. And, you know, that was how I played even in college to the league. I mean, I felt like I should have been a Raider my whole career, if I, you know, and like I said, I was able to be myself when I came. But 65 years, I'm glad I was able to be a part of it for 5. Even longer as a fan, though, but
Right.
5 as a player.
Love my time in Oakland and being a part of a storied franchise like this, 65 years, being able to be a part of Just Win in the Raider Nation, it's always going to be special. It's a special franchise in the NFL. Like I've said, they've done everything groundbreaking. Now they've hired the first black lady president, black woman president, and they continue to be groundbreaking under Mark Davis. So, being a part of that 65 years of Raider history is special.
Just appreciative of my time at Oakland that I had. Loved it. Thank you to Al, always, for my opportunity to get started in the NFL, and it's always just amazing. Like I say, it's the biggest thing of this alumni thing. I promise you, it's probably been the biggest thing. At least I know for us. Being away from the game, it ain't always. Everybody has their own transition. It's different for everybody. But I promise you, like every time I do see my guys, like it's always a good feeling,
That's I'm like everybody says, just the thankfulness of it. Being able to play for a historic organization like this right here, having an iconic owner like Mr. Davis is just thankful. Like I say, it's one of those things that people always ask me, would you rather win somewhere else when you came out? This and that. I tell people I wouldn't change. Oakland made me a pro. When I came here, we had down years, so you had no choice but to dig deep and fight. And so Oakland made me a pro. It taught me how to go about my everyday in the league and everything to develop me to the person that I am. So I'm very thankful for that and thankful for this organization.
We know the phrase, once a Raider, always a Raider. that rings true for all of you. Darren, I'm gonna start with you. What does that phrase mean to you?
Just by us sitting here right now, us four guys sitting here, that's the definition of once a Raider, always a Raider. You know, I left the Raiders organization in 2014, and you know, I still talk to anyone from this organization, or as far as players and personnel, more than anybody I talk to from my other organizations that I played for. And so, just to be able to stay in contact with these people, like guys, their families. You know, when you think about somebody like Chris Cortez, you know, he was an assistant trainer when we were here, you know, from where he is to where he is now. And so, you know, guys like that, you know, it's like watching their kids grow up. They've seen our kids grow up, and so it's a real family. And so that once a Raider, always a Raider it's not just a saying. It's really it's a way of life.
Yeah. Loyalty. I definitely say it's very family. Just always felt like home for me. Always, and just knew the tradition of the silver and black. You know, just putting it on, and you know, like he says, you know, seeing everybody grow up. You know, seeing, you know, just being back around the camaraderie of the guys. You know, I still feel like I'm part of the organization now. I still feel like still part of it, just because people still speak, still recognize me. So it's just always just a good feeling just to still feel accepted and feel wanted to by an organization like this.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, like they're saying, you know, your family. Once a Raider, always a Raider. You know, when we get back and they do these alumni things, you know, it's good to see where guys are in life and what they've been doing, you know, where their kids are, and just sharing that family camaraderie. It's more like a family reunion than anything. And like he says, I don't really keep in contact with people from other organizations I played for, but you know, the ones with the Raiders, those are like my brothers. So I check in with them every once in a while, and then being able to see them like this just makes it even better.
I mean, my thing is, like I said, once a Raiders, always a Raiders. And one thing about this organization is they don't just talk about it. They show, you know, they put their money where their mouth is. They're about it. They be about it. Like, you know, when an alumni comes and they do events, like Mr. Davis really pops out and shows out for us. And you know, one of the things is, like, the biggest thing is they just don't talk about it. They show up and they show out for us, and I appreciate that.
There's so many more stories that you guys can share, I know, but I'm happy that we got to sit here and have this time. Darren McFadden, Jacoby Ford, Lamarr Houston, Donald Penn. Thank you, gentlemen, so much, and thank you for being a part of this organization for the time that you were and still continue to this day. Once a Raider, always a Raider.
Appreciate all you do too, Sid.
Thank you so much. I'm Sibley. This is Talk of the Nation. This was our special Oakland episode, and I'm going to see you guys next week.